Good morning, everybody, and welcome to MIPCube. I'm Louisa Heinrich. I will be your moderator this morning. And our first session is the future of production, the do-it-all producer. And I have the great pleasure of being joined by Rajjat Barjatya from Rajshri Entertainment in India. We've got Aileen Docherty, the owner of Emerald Films, and Seth Laderman from Nerdist Industries in the States. My three speakers are each going to give a quick talk introducing themselves and their experiences, and then we're going to have a chat, the four of us. At the end of the session, there will be time for Q&A from you guys, so be thinking about your questions. And even during the session, we have a hashtag, which is MIPCube. If you want to tweet a question or a comment, go ahead and do it. And without any further ado, Rajjat, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's my first trip to MIPTV, and I'm really wondering why I didn't come earlier. It's fascinating. I'm looking forward to the next 3 to 4 days. I come all the way from India, a fascinating country with 1.2 billion people. That's quite a bit. In India, we produce over 1,000 feature films every year, much more than any other country in the world does. The unique part is that every film of ours is a musical. Every film has 4 to 8 songs baked into the film's narrative. It's again a unique style of storytelling. My family has been producing films and television shows since 1947. We're often referred to as the Disney of India because of our focus on clean, wholesome family entertainment. I have taken the family onto the 3rd, 4th, and 5th screen. The vision really is to look at the 5 screens and to produce and distribute and aggregate content across all 5 screens: cinema, TV, PC, mobile phones, tablets. But today, I'm going to be speaking to you more as a digital entrepreneur, as someone who has built Rajshri Entertainment into a digital content powerhouse that has over 25,000 hours of content programming that is distributed very widely across over 50 of the world's leading digital platforms. On the back of strong brands, what we call strong content verticals, across feature films, across food, across Bollywood and Hollywood e-news, across spiritual and devotional content. So I want to actually show you a short video before we can talk further. challenge really, thank you. We work across a wide variety of genres in our digital business. The challenge really is to look at content from 3 minutes to 3 hours. Yes, Bollywood films are 3 hours. So looking at content from 3 minutes to 3 hours and being able to really do justice to that 3-minuter, which is for a digital audience, which we got to be short and snappy, interactive, engaging, and also look at a 3-hour movie, which is for a traditional Hindi-speaking, Bollywood-loving audience with all its song and dance. So I'm looking forward to sharing more with you as the session goes on. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajjat. And up next is Aileen from Emerald Films.
Thanks, Louisa. Hi, my name's Aileen Docherty. I am the co-founder of production company Emerald Films and new online premier drama channel, ThisIsDrama. My background is very much so television drama. I co-write, produce original drama series and formats with my sister and business partner. Just to give you an example of the kind of stuff we do, I think I have a trailer here of our channel, ThisIsDrama.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your young protege?
You need a wash. Bye-bye. Let the dog have the dog.
Yeah, any chance of a snack?
Thought you were better than that.
Take me back.
We're over, Johnny.
You're not taking it!
Why not?
Times are changing. The old firm's weak.
Put some clothes on, will you?
Did that really just happen?
Cut. Thank you very much.
Great. So that's our online drama channel. With drama, we all know that it is expensive to make to start with. It's becoming increasingly more difficult to get your dramas kind of funded and off the ground. So we started looking at alternative ways of producing, monetizing, and distributing drama online. What better way than online, especially when you look at platforms like YouTube, who can give you access to the biggest audiences in the world. It really seemed like something we had to explore. The challenge to making online drama in this day and age is it has to be of television broadcast quality, because it has to be able to travel beyond the online platform onto television, which we have done with our dramas. And actually, rather than talk about all the different drama, I'll probably concentrate or do a small case study on our most recent drama, which is called Five-A-Side. Concept, five is kind of in the title. Five-A-Side is about kind of five guys who play five-a-side football, their lives, relationships on and off the pitch. I have another kind of small trailer for that, and then I'll run through a quick kind of case study on how we went about it. The Five-A-Side trailer.
Bit of a cheeky chap, loves the women, loves cars, adores his football. Good boy.
I don't know what you think he's playing out there.
He's such a fun guy, and I love it when he's with the boys.
Right, where's Johnny?
It's a done deal.
He's got inner demons and he's got an aggressive kind of personality. And that's why it's fun to play that character, because I'd be a peacekeeper. I'd be the kind of guy to talk people down. What do you want? I'm delighted to be part of the team.
Yeah, any chance of a snack?
My agent sent me an email and he was just like, yo, check this out. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Why so soft, boy?
I've never done acting before, so I was like, hey, why not? Cool.
Oh my God.
Going in! Hard!
I'm playing Nick Newman. I haven't played football for ages.
Nice young, bar's full of pussy. Drinks are on me.
I seem to be getting all the old men these days,
Read the script, really liked the script. I'm a big fan of football and it was right up my street. So I met the writers and the directors and was lucky enough to get cast as Richard. It's great to be a part of such an exciting project. Put some clothes on, will you? I'm surprised surprised that the concept of five-a-side football hasn't been put into a movie or into a TV show before now.
The script's great. It's not just about a five-a-side team. It's everything that comes with it, you know, your friends and what's going on around it.
And it's just fun and it's good characters.
And it's quite humorous, like it's a drama, but it's kind of, whoa, voice crack. It's kind of funny as well. People will just be like, yo, check this out, five-a-side, it's cool.
My name's Lee Kennedy in the show.
I'm Matt.
And I think, are you my mentor or my your
Nah,
mentor?
you're my bitch.
I'm the bitch mentor, apparently.
These are my boots.
Signed boots.
Yeah, they're signed.
If you want these boots, you have to look up someone. Tell us who you look up to, and the best comment will wear a signed pair of boots.
Yeah!
Don't forget to subscribe to This Is Drama.
Of course, and be sure to click on my face if you want to see the five-a-side show.
So click on his face.
Hey,
face.
No.
As you'll see from that, there is a mix there between traditional drama and online drama. You can't have drama online unless you market it properly. And that's what I was trying to demonstrate there with, it started with our casting. So we have traditional kind of household names and actors who are attracted to this new model of doing online drama first and foremost because they're attracted to the material, the concept and the script. That's where it starts. Secondly, in order for your drama to travel and be seen, you have to get it out there. You know, there's no point in making a show if your audience can't find it. And that's why, on top of our traditional actors, we also cast KSI, who is a YouTube superstar in the UK. KSI is a football fanatic, so he was perfect for the show. He's a natural performer, as he has one of the biggest YouTube channels in the UK. He screen tested, he was great, he loved the script, and with KSI, what he brings to our online drama is his 5 million subscribers, his marketing, effectively. As you saw in that trailer there, through competitions, through additional content, we are reaching out to an audience who actually very rarely tune into traditional television. They watch everything online, and they watch what, you know, these YouTube superstars are who they look up to. It's who they listen to, and it's, you know, they watch what they're watching, and they watch what they're in as well. So that's why we brought KSI, who's been great in it. He's a media partner in Five Side, the show, and he promotes and he's, I mean, to give you an example, the show hasn't been released yet. We're releasing it in May, June this year to maximise publicity around the World Cup. KSI already has done a couple of these kind of pieces of additional content, trailers, marketing tools, really. They have already got over 1 million views over the last few weeks, which is, you know, hugely impressive and actually costs very little money, which is, you know, what we have to do while making online drama that we want to be high quality, and we want huge audiences to see it. With Five Side, the production, the biggest challenge for me was, and my partner, was to make high quality drama with lower budgets. Now, I know we all struggle with that in this day and age. Money's always the problem. But when you bring in your cast and you bring them into the production and they become a part of the team, something similar to what we do with independent films, everyone gets behind it and we can go out there and we can make good, high-quality drama. And the end game for that is effectively it travels beyond online platforms. And we have done that. We've sold it to UK broadcasters. We have sold it internationally as well. And that's the way that we make our drama online.
Thanks, Aileen. Seth?
Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for coming out and listening. To start, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Again, I am the Senior Vice President of Production for Nerdist Industries. I got to where I am right now through a path of 10 years. Graduated college with an accounting degree, worked for a public accounting company for a year, strongly disliked that, so I quit and I drove from the East Coast out into Los Angeles, where I slept on a friend's couch and got a job as a logger in reality television. I spent about 6 months being a production assistant, followed by a year being a production coordinator. A year after that, I was a production manager, and then a year later, I became a line producer. After being a line producer for about a year, I decided to switch paths to go into more of the creative. So I became a creative producer for a good 2 years, where I learned how to shoot, do audio, as well as deal with talent and be a producer. After gaining that experience, I came back to production, where I was an in-house line producer until Nerdist Industries called me up, and I went there to head up production for Nerdist in the digital world. Over the course of my 10 years in production, I feel that my history is a pretty good case study in terms of the do-it-all producer, where you can learn how to produce first and then you become a producer, I feel everybody should start in production and then dive into creative, because anybody can have any type of idea out there, but unless it's actually doable and unless you can make it happen within a certain budget, it's not going to happen. So my path brought me to where I am today, running a digital production company, which I believe is the present and future of production out there, where we have a stable of employees who are all content creators, because what it comes down to now is creating content and owning content. And the company is Nerdist Industries, which I have a video that you can see from Jessica Chobot, who is the host of our daily Nerdist news show. She can explain to you a little bit about what Nerdist Industries is.
Hey everyone, I'm Jessica Chobot, host of Nerdist News on the Nerdist channel. I wanted to give you a real quick overview as to who and what Nerdist Industries is. Nerdist is the brainchild of Chris Hardwick, host of At Midnight on Comedy Central and Talking Dead on AMC. What began a few years ago as a blog where Chris curated his favorite content on the internet has now turned into a multi-platform content creator that develops and presents all things nerd, including tech, science, gaming, comics, entertainment, and much, much more. Now, Nerdist has a podcast network with over 25 podcasts, including You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes, The Indoor Kids with Kumail Nanjiani, and our flagship podcast, The Nerdist Podcast with Chris Hardwick, which is one of the top 10 comedy podcasts in the world. We have a YouTube channel with almost 900,000 subscribers, including shows starring people like me, Chris Hardwick, Neil Patrick Harris, Weird Al Yankovic, Danica McKellar, and many more great personalities. Now, in the last year, we've produced 3 shows for television, including At Midnight, In the Name of Science for Nat Geo, and All-Star Celebrity Bowling on AMC. And we are now a full-fledged production company producing and developing content with some of the biggest networks on television and the biggest distributors on the internet. We also activate at live events throughout the year, including E3, CES, New York Comic-Con, South by Southwest, and San Diego Comic-Con International, where we'll be doing 2 events this year, a high-end geek couture fashion show and laser tag at Petco Park. All of this funnels to our website, Nerdist.com, that receives over 1 million unique viewers a month and is growing at a very rapid pace. In addition to featuring our podcasts, videos, and event coverage, we have a stable of writers posting countless blogs, exposés, and breaking news throughout the day. Thank you for taking the time to hear a little bit about Nerdist Industries.
Cool, thank you. Right, so I have questions for all of you, but what I forgot to say at the beginning is kind of the gist of this session, so I'll frame the discussion now. Sorry, guys. We all know that production isn't what it used to be. It used to be a fairly straightforward process where somebody had an idea, somebody else figured out how to monetize it, and you had quite clearly delineated lines between creative, distribution, marketing, interactive. Well, interactive didn't even exist. Now everything's all mashed up together. And that's what we're here to talk about, is how that's changed our jobs, how that's changed the way that we have to think about our jobs and the skills that we have to possess. So I'll start with you, Seth. Because you started as a logger, you started as the lowest of low, if you like. 10 years, a lot has changed in the industry. Can you run us through kind of the history of production as you've experienced it?
Yeah, there's been so much that's changed in 10 years, but the 4 things that I like to talk about are budgets. As everybody's well aware, budgets have shrunk substantially, television and now into digital, from $1 million budgets to now $200,000 for a half-hour reality show is not a lot to do. So, which stems to your employees. You have less employees out there. Many less that are part of your production and the type of employees. As I mentioned in my opening, content creators. What we tend to do now is we tend to hire people who are jack of all trades, who can shoot, produce, and edit, which saves time in post and saves a lot of costs that way. The type of content, the length. It's shorter and shareable now. Even channels like Adult Swim are putting up 7 to 12-minute content out there, and everything in the digital world. It becomes a lot shorter because there's so much more of it out there, and you need to. It used to be on linear television, you wanted to make sure people didn't change a channel. In this new world, you need to make sure your content is shareable, and you need to make sure somebody watches it and wants to pass it along through social media. And then your audiences. There used to be so many less channels out there, so you had a much wider range of an audience, and now it's much more focused audiences between your brands or between the networks out there, so your product has to be a lot more focused to the audience, and it can't be as broad as it used to be.
So basically everything.
Everything has changed, and it will continue to.
Of course. So, all right, I'm going to go in reverse order. Aileen, your bag, your thrust, the thing that you are most interested in is storytelling, and that is at the core of great drama. So my question to you, and feel free everyone to jump in on this obviously, is how, when everybody's doing everything, how do you ensure that the content you make is of the highest quality, is of the quality that it needs to be?
Well, for me, and I think I mentioned this before, it comes from the concept. Because I come from the script background, first and foremost, I mean, my background would be script writing, script editing, creating long-running TV series formats. To me, script is everything. Now, I'm not saying production isn't, because it's equally as important, but you can't produce something or point a camera at something if the script doesn't work. If the script works and you have great actors, you have high-quality drama on your hands. So for me, the absolute foundation of a good drama is a very good script. From there, in this day and age, the kind of cameras we have access to, the multi-shooters, there are clever ways of cutting budgets, but yet still having quality on screen, if you have a good script and if you have good performance up there.
Okay, thank you. So it is still about the content, it is about the production values, it is about saving the budgets. We'll talk about the other end now. So Rajjat, you're up against a very different set of challenges in India than we are in the Western world. So we don't have the bandwidth that we have. We've got lots of people watching on mobile. How do you cope with those challenges?
In India, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, which is the government regulator, defines broadband as 512 kbps. As ridiculous as that. This is something which we have made multiple representations about, and ultimately the throughput that you get is probably 256. So we have a huge challenge when it comes to serving digital content to an Indian consumer based in India. The second point is that 2 out of 3 Indians access the internet on their mobile phones. So there are about 225 million Indians out of 1.2 billion who are on the internet, what we call active users. But 2/3 are on their mobile phones, which really means that they have smartphones, increasingly now, but much earlier we had a lot of feature phones, which are now converting into smartphones very quickly. But it's still a 2.5-inch screen. It's still content which you will watch, really snack on and watch on the go. So it's a different style of content production for digital screens for audiences in India. What we have done is tried very hard to reach out to the Indian diaspora outside of India, which has had access to better infrastructure, especially broadband. They are more on the PC internet than the mobile internet. What we've also done very intelligently is actually repurpose our content to a global audience. So one of the things we did recently was actually launch a Japanese language channel for Indian food called Indono Taidakoro. Now this is something possible in the digital world. It's not possible in the traditional world. I can't go to a broadcaster in Japan and say, I've made something. It's not going to work. But putting it on YouTube, putting it on Dailymotion, putting it on multiple digital platforms, we have now built a sizable audience in Japan which loves Indian food. The thought really came from the fact that there are 5,000 Indian restaurants in Japan, 950 in Tokyo alone, which tells you that Indian food is very popular, but it was food which you would go out and eat, not that you would cook at home. I really think Indo Daidokoro will encourage a lot of Japanese in Japan and around the world to eat Indian food at home.
Thank you. So one of the things that you guys have learned from the digital world is the possibility, the reach that can be infinitely extended.
Absolutely, which is not possible on traditional.
Exactly. So I'll turn that back around to you two. For you two, for Aileen and Seth, what is the biggest lesson that digital has taught you? What is the biggest opportunity it's opened for you?
I mean, as far as, excuse me, what it's taught us, just picking up on what you were saying there, these kind of bite-sized episodes or chapters are actually really, for me, beneficial to drama because it gives everybody the opportunity to consume it the way they want to. I mean, if you look back to Dickens' novels, chapters, people are now watching their drama in bite-sized chapters. What's really interesting to me is you put that together and you have a whole feature film or a whole series, which you can watch in whatever kind of section you want to, therefore getting out to the biggest possible audience.
Cool. So about slicing and dicing. Seth?
Yeah, to follow along with that, it's having a worldwide audience, which is amazing, but also becoming a destination. As you saw from Nerdist, we call ourselves a multi-platform content creator. So it's owning content, it's producing content so that you have a library, but becoming a destination that people will want to go to on a daily basis to see the content you produce and anything else that you distribute, whether it's a podcast or a news story or anything like that. Because as we mentioned before, with this not being linear and with there being so much great content out there across so many different platforms, it's how do I build my audience and how do I get my audience to come on a daily basis. So it's trying to find your niche and go from there and become as shareable as possible.
Excellent. Do we have any questions in the audience? Anyone? Yeah, we have one over there.
Yeah, I just got a question for Seth.
Hang on, we're gonna come into you.
Hey, just a question for Seth. Just wondering, are you looking for producers to bring into your team that have their own gear, that have their own post facilities? Or are you looking for guys to come in and work in-house to hire guys like that?
It's actually a little bit of both. Most of our editors work from home, but we own most of the equipment. One of the main reasons for that is for tax purposes. If I can hire people as 1099 freelance employees, I don't have to pay state payroll taxes on them, which saves a lot of money in the long run. Is another way to potentially get better content. We've acquired a lot of cameras and we have the editing software, we have the equipment, but so my people that come in, they use that to shoot and produce, but my editors typically work from home. And I think that's the way we're going to want to keep it going. We do have 2 in-house editors to produce content on a regular basis and to get stuff out in the breaking news type of way, but for all of our pre-produced content, we like to have those edited out of house.
Thanks. Any other questions in the audience? Yeah, we have one down here. Can we get a mic down here, please?
Just a question. Does the producer now also have to become a marketeer and a distribution guy as well, going forward?
Anyone who wants to take it?
I think we all have to multitask. So we're jack of all trades. I'd love to be master of all trades. That's not possible. So in my case, what I've done is surround myself with smart, young, and passionate people who handle different parts of the business. So from one individual, we've now grown to 70 in our digital business. But these are all young, smart, and passionate people who've grown up in the internet age. I find myself a little older than I should be as a digital entrepreneur. So I'm the glue that binds them together. But it's really my team which does a lot of this. But yes, to answer your question, as a producer, you've got to be all. I don't think you can be one.
Yeah, and I'll completely
I'm not disputing the fact that production is important or scripting is important, but I think the commercial viability of that, which an entrepreneur brings to the table, that if I'm producing this show, I'm scripting this show, is it actually going to find an audience? What should the budget be? What kind of revenues can I expect from platforms like YouTube and Dailymotion and Hulu, or from a brand? That understanding is very important before you start scripting and producing that content.
Aileen, you were saying something?
Yes, no, I completely second that. You have to be the jack of all trades, and distribution and marketing is key, or you will not be found. You know, if you, and it is, you know, I've had to learn that. You know, I've started from script, you know, through to producing, and absolutely have to. Distribution is a huge part in marketing, and that's something that we've had to learn how to do. And you know, we go out there and we do it, and it's doable, and it's profitable. You know, we have revenue streams. So yeah. But without the marketing in place, nobody would know we're there, nobody would see our drama, and you know, we wouldn't be able to take it any further.
What is it that you do? Can I ask a follow-on question? What is it that you do in terms of marketing and distribution, building your audience, and ensuring that you have cachet with the target that you're trying to reach out to?
So what?
What is it that you, in terms of marketing and distribution, what tools do you use?
Well, the tools that we use, as I displayed in that trailer, is, you know, there's not a bigger tool than YouTube, to be honest. There's not a bigger tool. It's the biggest audience in the world. You know, we market our movies on YouTube, so why should we not market our online dramas on YouTube? And the tools I use through all our social media channels, I mean, KSI, who is media partner in one of our dramas, he has 1 million Twitter followers. He talks to 1 million people a day. He goes out to 5 million YouTube subscribers who are a certain demographic, which I have had to research. Are our demographic. They're watching our kind of stuff, that kind of show. So we have to use him to market. You know, and of course you have to market traditionally as well, you know, across the press, across radio, TV, you know. And we can do that because what we're doing is quite pioneering, it's interesting, and we find that we can get ourselves out there.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have, unfortunately. I wish we could carry on because I have more questions. But the speakers will be out in the Meet the Speakers area, just outside the room for the next half hour. So you can ask your questions to them there. I want to say another great big thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.